Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with today's Timeless Tarot for September the 22nd of 2025, but this is a Timeless Tarot reading, so whenever you find it is exactly when it was meant to find you. We will be pulling 8 cards from the Divine Feminine, 8 cards from the Divine Masculine in accordance with the 8 human chakras and walking the path of the tarot so that we can get a better understanding of how best to manifest our highest timelines in accordance with Spirit. I've already done a pre-shuffle, but I like to do a couple more just to make sure everything is where it needs to be. And I will take this opportunity to let you know that I am available for direct consultations. Manect is the only way at the current moment. I am working on other options, but the link is provided in the box down below, along with my book on how to manifest responsibly. And now we will begin pulling in the base. In the base, we have the Seven of Wands. In the sacral, the Ace of Swords, both in reverse. In the solar plexus, we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. In the heart, we have the King of Cups in reverse. In the throat, we have the Moon in reverse. In the third eye, we have the Ace of Pentacles. And in the crown, we have the Six of Cups in reverse. There's only one standing tall. We are going to save the 8th card for the Divine Feminine for the end of the read, but feel welcome at any point to let me know what your guess will be by putting it in the box down below. Next, we will pull the cards from the Divine Masculine deck. The Divine Feminine, the cards that are already on the table, let us know what the current energies are, the current situation. The Divine Masculine lets us know the steps and actions that we can take to best manifest our highest timeline in accordance with Spirit. And now we begin pulling in the crown. And in the crown we have the Five of Cups. Interesting. In the third eye we have the Knight of Swords. In the throat we have the Empress in reverse. In the heart we have the Ten of Wands. In the solar plexus we have the Hermit in reverse. In the sacral we have the King of Pentacles. Very interesting. And in the base we have the King of Wands. Again, and the King of Wands is in reverse. And again, we will hold the 8th card for the end of the read, but feel free at any point to let me know what you think they will be, both the current energies and the steps to take. Reading the room, we have 1, 2, 3 major arcana. We have what, 1, 2, 2 pentacles. We have 1, 2, 2 cups. We have 1, 2 wands, 3 wands. Oh, and there's another pentacle. So it's fairly balanced all the way around. We do have a representative from all of the elements. All right, so let's begin walking the path of the tarot. We begin with the realization that there even is a path. This is where your hopes and fears lie. The things you hope may come true, the fears that you have might come true. The balance between those is going to be faith, believing that the correct thing will come true if you take the correct action. You have the Six of Cups in reverse. This can indicate letting go of some things. Boy, that is something. What we see here is the Six of Cups represents you are overcoming a challenge. It is growth and nurturing. It is given the proper energy to get to your harvest. These 2 children are give people a sense of nostalgia. This is looking upon the past fondly for most people, coming to the understanding, the nurturing energy about your past. When it is standing upright, this is you having fond feelings for your past. This is holding on to the things from the past to bring them into the future. In the reverse, this is going to indicate letting go of some things in the past. Now, cups are centered around feelings and connections. It is body, spirit, it is feeling and water. It is how you feel, but it is the connections as well. It is familial connections, spousal connections, co-worker connections, and friendships, but it is not the people. It is the emotions and the connections involved. And so this can indicate you letting go of someone from your past or some feeling from your past. This is where your hope lies. This could be despair, but it's probably not. Very rarely does despair actually come out in these readings. There can be if there is something overbearing, but this is more than likely you maybe regretting having to let go of something from your past. Maybe you want a sense of nostalgia around it, but it's not really working to have that sense of nostalgia. And so this is you letting go of something from your past around an emotion or a connection. Now, clarifying that with some steps that can be taken is the card immediately preceding that. The challenge of the emotions, and that is having regrets. And you can make it up. This guy is dressed in black. He is mournful. He is looking into the past at these 3 spilled cups. He is regretful about the things that he no longer has. It's in the past. Now, this is connections, emotions, feelings, more than likely. But if he was to turn around, he would see that there are 2 full cups and a bridge that leads to the city. He has the opportunity to progress, to get what he wants, if he just turns around and quits looking into the past. And so right here in your hope spot, you are being told fairly clearly, quit holding on to the past, quit looking into the past, especially around a feeling or a connection. Now, there may be something you are holding on to fondly that is no longer serving you. It may be a person. We'll see when we get over to the interpersonal spots. It doesn't necessarily have to be there. This is probably an emotion. This is probably a memory. This is probably you holding on to something that is no longer serving you in the past. And that is a double here, right? Both of these cards are telling you the same thing in your hope or your despair. You may be despairing about giving up this thing. Next, we go to decisions. Once you realize that there is a path, you have to make a decision. Do you get on the new path? Do you stay on the old path? Both of them are valid options. This is your experience. You are here for it, and so you are free to choose how you would like. This is the area that deals with sloth and diligence. Working towards your goals is diligence. Expecting your goals to just work out is slothfulness. The balance between them is patience, taking the correct steps at the correct time in order to get to the correct destination. Here, you have a choice to make. This is a choice, right? The choice spot. This is a choice about a new path of provision. This is you finding a new way to make money, right? Pentacles are about provision. Do you have home? Do you have a job? Do you have food? Do you have money? Are you provided for? Not emotionally, but physically. The physical manifestation of things. What is happening here is that from the past into the future, the divine is handing you provision, right? Hey, look, here's a path. You have been presented with this path already. You know what it is because you are being told to make a choice about it. It is a new development in your life. It is not something you have been contemplating for a long time, but it is something that has presented itself to you, and you need to make a decision about it. It does lead to abundance, right? This garden right here signifies the abundance that is available on the path of revision. Now, what can you do? Right? This is the active steps. This is your current situation. You have a decision to make about a path of provision. It is related to an idea that you hold or a communication that is coming in. What we see here is that this guy is charging into the past on his white horse of victory or assistance, holding aloft his sword, right? His weapon of war, his instrument, his sword of discernment even. And swords indicate soul. They are thought and intellect. They are communications, and they are combat. This is not an interpersonal relationship spot, and so it is probably not combat. It could be a communication about this idea that allows you to make the decision, but that's not the energy, right? The energy is that you're being presented with this path. You have a decision to make about it, and it is a challenge. Knights represent a challenge, just like the 5 does on a higher level. This is the path of authority around a thought or a communication. Probably a thought. This is the thought spot, right? Intuition and thought, intricately related. Either one of those can pop up here, and it will be that, right? If this was wands or swords, this is the spots for those. This is a sword in the sword spot, and so it is probably related to a thought. It could be a communication coming in. I would expect to see that over here. There is some weird energy going on over there, but this is you either receiving assistance or the completion, right? This is you rising to meet the task, rising to meet the challenge in your life around a thought by making a decision on this path. Next, we go to lessons. Once you have decided about the path, either to stay on the old one or to get on the new one, there is something to learn. How do you learn? Through communication, This is the throat. It deals with pride and humility, because pride is talking a little bit too good about yourself. Humility is not talking good enough about yourself, and neither one of those is particularly good. The balance between those is going to be thankfulness, being thankful that you can do a job well, but understanding that it does not make you better than other people. You have some change in your life that maybe you are resisting. This is the moon, and the moon represents embracing change. It is coming out of your comfort zone, it is embracing change and going into the new. What we see is that this moon, I say that it's the sun and the moon. It is not necessarily that, but there is an eclipse that happened on the 21st. It is only visible really in the lower hemisphere, but that's not necessarily pertinent, right? There is an eclipse happening. This might be an indication of an eclipse. It's in a communication area that might indicate some timing. It might not. But this divine providence is overlooking, right? It's either the sun and the moon, or it's just the moon. Either way. But there is the two towers that represents the light and the dark. There is a balance to be stricken, and it is this path that goes right down the middle. On either side of the path, there is a dog and a wolf. One is the bestial nature of man, one is the domestic nature of man, and you are to walk the balance between them, between light and dark, between the bestial and the domestic side of man. And then all the way down here at the bottom, there's a little crawfish coming out of the water. He is fully armored, he is able to take care of himself, but he is coming out of his comfort zone and embracing change. The moon is about embracing change. This is an 18 card, and an 18 card is going to be an understanding that needs to be had on an emotional level. This is the clarifier for the Page of Cups. And so this is tangentially related to an emotional situation, possibly the greater understanding of that in an authority position. You have it in the reverse, and that indicates that you are resisting the change that is occurring in your life, or you are not communicating that change effectively so that it can affect you in your life. This is the feminine, so it is your current situation. It's in the reverse, so you are not doing it, right? And so this is you embracing the change occurring in your life. This is not. Now, what can you do? How can you help yourself, right? This is the active card, and it's in the reverse. This is another 4. Right? No, this is a 3. Okay, so 3s are about learning. Learn. You are learning something about the path of provision, because the Empress is the clarifier for the 10 of Pentacles. And so this can indicate provision in your life. When she is standing up tall, she is being provided for in abundance. She is looking into the future. She is with her back to the past. She has her rod here, and she's seated upon her authority. But when it is upright, this is the immature divine feminine. She's a little bit jealous. She talks about other people. She's a little bit too tied up into looks, maybe a little bit too tied into possessions. But she is well provided for. She's just a teenager, though. She's just learning how to be a woman. In the reverse, it's the other energy. This can indicate some maturity in the divine feminine. This can indicate a little bit of deprivation. And so in the reverse, in a communication spot, this is probably you dealing with some deprivation. Maybe you need to communicate that you do not have the funds that you need. That's a possibility. This is learning something about provision, dealing with change, and emotions. And so this is probably you communicating to someone a sense of lack, that you do not have the things that you would need, right? This could be the divine feminine being mature, but you're not embracing change. The divine feminine would be. Your current situation is that you're not communicating about the change occurring in your life. This is related to that. Maybe this is you're not communicating about the provision that you want, right? The thing that you want in your life, you need to speak it aloud. Speaking it aloud allows it to be able to manifest into your life. And so this could be you speaking your need. Next, we go to understanding. Once you have learned a lesson, you have to understand it so that you can rise to meet the challenges in your life. You can't really rise to meet the challenge until you have understood the lesson. This is also interpersonal relationships because this deals with greed and charity. Greed is loving the mortal coil just a little bit too much. Charity is loving the mortal coil not quite enough. And neither one is entirely good. You are meant to have things, just not all of the things. This is also an interpersonal relationship because greed and charity are intricately linked to other people. You are either being greedy from other people or you are being charitable to other people. Charity or greed and charity is money is only in exchange for time, so this can indicate time that you are holding for yourself as well. What you have today is the King of Cups in reverse. Now, the King of Cups is an emotional harvest. When it is standing upright, kings symbolize the end of the path. This path is around emotions. It is, again, another cup. And so what is happening when this is upright is that this guy is a fully developed divine masculine using his authority in emotions in the appropriate way. You have it in the reverse in your current situation, which indicates that you are not communicating your emotions correctly. You are not talking to someone about some provision. And so this is another iteration of this. And you even have another one down here. And so, and this is a path. And so this path is telling you to communicate about provision. This in the reverse indicates that you are not acting in the divine masculine, fully developed. Maybe you are being a little bit jealous. Maybe you are being a little bit aggressive. Maybe you're being a little bit the divine masculine immature, what you would expect from a teenage boy. And so this is still the end of the harvest, right? This is still, the harvest is coming around an emotional situation if you take the correct actions, right? Well, either way, but this is more likely that you need to take the correct action. Now, what is the correct action? What can be done? This is the 10 of Wands, and Wands are about change. They are about intuition. If it was up here, it might be an intuitive leap. But this is about generational provision of change, or generational provision of an intuition, the lifelike logos, spirit. And so this is 10s indicate learning. There is something to learn here about change. This is you embracing change, and it's a little bit burdensome. This guy is walking with his burden. It is a burden. He is stooped over towards his home, but it is not an unbearable burden. It is heavy, but he can manage it. He is not hunched over too far, just enough. He is moving forward. His feet are moving. He's not getting assistance, but he is making his way towards the goal. Now, 10s are about the generational provision, and generational provision of change is a little bit different, but if you come to the harvest of an emotional situation, letting go of some things in your past, then that is change. And this can be that you are changing your entire generation's idea of an emotional situation. That is even likely here, right? You letting go of this is a path as well, right? There's a path wherever 3 of them can make a link, right? And so this is you communicating about your future, empowering your future, and taking steps towards your future. This is you getting an intuition about your path. This is you enacting your path. And this is you reaping the harvest of your path. This is linked, right? And so you have this emotional regret that you are letting go of twice. You have this harvest of the emotions, which would be the end of an emotional path, right? And that leads to generational change. That is an entirely new way of looking at everything for everybody in your line. Next, we go to the challenges. Once you have understood what your lesson is, it's time to rise to meet the challenge. This is the area that deals with gluttony and denial. Gluttony is the overconsumption of things. Denial is the underconsumption of things. Neither one is entirely good in and of itself. The balance is going to be moderation, using the correct fuel to empower yourself without being detrimental to yourself. You have a 9, and this is the 9 of Pentacles. And what does the 9 represent? A choice. Now, this is your challenge spot. This is what is challenging you right now, currently in your situation. This is a choice about provision. You're being presented with a brand new choice about provision up here, right? This is a choice about provision right here that you may not be making, right? You already know about this idea. It is in your current situation. This could represent that idea. This is a path. And right, this is envisioning your future, empowering your future, and fueling your future. And so how do you fuel your future? By making a decision about the provisionary path on a higher level. This is the level of assuming authority. Right? The first path is working for someone else. The second path is being the shot caller. It's being the boss. It's being the guy in charge of things. Or girl. I'm not giving that energy, right? And so this is a 9 is you have a choice to make around the Pentacles, which is provision, and it is a challenge for you. It is not something you find easy. How do you overcome that? You come down off of the mountain. This is the Hermit card, and the Hermit card is when it is standing upright, this guy has gone to the top of the mountain, and he is up there to learn. He is up there to get all of the lessons, all of the knowledge in the world, right? That's what this lamp signifies. He has attained all of the knowledge in the world, but he is by himself. He is on top of the mountain holding his light up for people to see, but it is way up the mountain. There's not a whole lot of people around. There's not a whole lot of people that are going to go up the mountain. Sometimes you have to come down off of the mountain. This is also a 9 card, so you have another 9 here in your challenge. I wonder if maybe there is a decision to make. This is a decision around an idea. This is going to be the clarifier for the 9, the 9 of swords. And so this may be related to an idea. It may be related to a communication. There is a link between these. But this is you making a choice about coming down off of the mountain. That's going to unlock your provisionary choice in this path of generational provision. You might want to take advantage of that. Right? This is the spirit of isolation being undone. This is you coming out of isolation. Next, we go to the growth and nurture spot. Once you have met your challenge, there is a brief moment of respite where you just breathe for a minute. You have overcome. It is also where you invest your energy towards the final harvest. You no longer have to fight the pest. All you have to do is weed, water, and fertilize. That's the easy part. And so this is just giving the appropriate nurturative energy to get to your final harvest before the new path unfolds. This is the area that deals with lust and chastity because it is physical generation and interpersonal relationships. It represents the sacral, that is sexual energy, creative energy, the things you want to create into your world. It does not have to be sexual. It can just be you are trying to produce a physical thing, right? Giving the nurturing energy to produce is what is going on here. And you are not taking advantage of a thought. And this is a thought. It is the Ace of Swords. It is coming from the past into the future, providing you with clarity, right? That is one of the swords represent clarity as well. And so this is a thought or intuition, probably thought and not intuition. This is something that is already present in your life. This is the feminine. If this is upright, this is you are being presented with, right? This is definitely one that you already know about. This one was possibly one that you already knew about. This is definitely something that you are thinking about already, right? This is something you already know about. It is already in your scope. And so it could be a communication. There is less communication energy here, although you are coming off of the mountain. And so this is probably you nurturing, growing your thought. And that is reiterated by the King of Pentacles. Now, kings represent the harvest, the final harvest of the suit. And this suit is provision. Right? This is the work that you have been doing coming to an end. Right? The presentation of a new path is right around the corner, but this is the harvest. This is a harvest around provision, and it is what you are being told to do. This may be you bringing a close to a project that you've been working on around a thought that you already have, and that's what's going to unlock your future. Right? This is how you give the nurturative energy to reach your harvest, and it is telling you that there is a harvest coming. It is a king. This is a provisionary harvest. Like it doesn't necessarily mean that there is money coming in, but it could be, right? Would that nurture you? If you got a sum of money, would that help you? Would that be a nurturative energy? That's a possibility, but it's related to your thought. This is not just coming out of nowhere. This is not somebody just randomly showing up like the Emperor and giving you money. This is you getting to the end by the work you have done, continuing to grind in whatever it is in the right way to reach your harvest. And you've got to, and next we go to the harvest, right? Once you have given the correct energy, then you get to reap your rewards. This is what you get to reap. This is the area that deals with love and wrath. The love is the thing that binds us together, the giving of affection. Wrath is the thing that tears us apart, that affection not being returned. The balance between those is going to be kindness, being kind to everyone, whether they seem to deserve it or not. This is provision, right? Just like a Pentacles, the harvest position is about what you are reaping from your work, your just rewards coming in due. Now, I want to point out you have a king, and a king, right? There are three harvest energies right there. Just off of this is King of Cups, that's emotions. This is King of Pentacles, that is provision, and the King of Wands, which is around change. All right. And what is this? You know what this is? Can you read it? That is a Seven of Wands. What is a Seven of Wands? The end of the harvest, right? This one is not currently unfolding in your life. You have it in the reverse, but it is imminent. It is right here, really close. Otherwise, this would have been a 6, right? You are almost to the harvest. No, you are at the harvest. You're just not taking advantage of it. You are not taking the step that you need to take to cross the finish line. That's what this is saying. This may indicate you need to be a little bit more aggressive because this guy, he's defending himself. He was engaged in some mutual combat and now he is on the high ground and all of these people are attacking him, but he has the high ground and so he is able to defend himself. This is a defensive card, right? This is the harvest around change by defending yourself. This is the harvest around change by being a little bit more aggressive, a little bit less of the defensive energy, more of the I'm bringing it to you energy. This is a harvest around change, and the action that you are being told to take is to harvest around change. Right? You have this double up right here. This is, hey, listen to what I'm telling you. This is the Seven of Wands, right? Change, harvest, King of Wands, change, harvest, higher level. Taking authority in your own life in order to bring about the change. The kings represent the divine masculine, fully matured, so in the reverse, it might be a little bit of that immature energy. It might be a little bit aggressive. You might be a little bit overbearing. It might be called for. Sometimes it is okay to be a little bit aggressive. Sometimes it isn't, and that's not physically. This is not talking about physical combat, right? This is engaging in change by letting go of this thing from the past that is no longer serving you so that you can rise, right? And so this is a double harvest in your harvest spot, both of them around change. You have a harvest around emotions centered around change, and you have a letting go of things. Next, we go to the divine. This is a direct message from the divine to you. It is not colored by any of the virtues and the vices. The divine has the virtues and vices in perfect balance. Did you make your guess as to what this would be? I'm going to go ahead and make a guess that this can be the Five of Cups, right? Because you do have this letting go energy. It is rather heavy, a lot of change, a lot of you not embracing the change. So this might be a card indicating you needing to embrace the change. This could be the Two of Cups. That would indicate you, or the Two of Wands. That would be you choosing to change. It could be the, what would be the Nine of Wands, choosing to change. This one, this is your active, so this is probably going to be the choice. This is probably going to be the necessity for change. Maybe a tower, maybe a wheel. Let's see. The Queen of Wands, change energy. And the Six of Pentacles, both of these are in reverse. All right, so the Queen of Wands is about giving the nurturing energy. This is the 6th spot. You are just past the challenge, but You are not quite to the harvest. This is giving the correct energy in the correct way to get to the correct spot. This is the Queen of Wands, and she is about change. She is seated on her throne of authority. She is crowned with her authority. She has her wand of change, her good luck kitty, and she is facing into the future. She is looking forward to the things that are coming. You have this in the reverse. That is a little bit less of the energy, right? This is the divine feminine, immature. This is not giving the embrace to the change, right? You are definitely being called to embrace the change, but in your current situation, you are not, right? This is the current situation. You are not embracing the change in your life. And that is fairly obvious, right? We're looking at you needing to let go of this, you not embracing the change, right? This is really a reiteration of this moon card. You have this Ace of Swords that you're not taking advantage of. You have this harvest that you're not taking advantage of. This harvest you're not taking advantage of. This is you not currently giving the energy that you need to give to get to the harvest. And how do you do that? How do you change that around? How do you get to the harvest? Maybe you need to change your financial decisions. Right? This is the Six of Pentacles. That is about nurturing, growing, and overcoming. Right? You have a double six here, right? This is a six. This is a six on a higher level. And so when this is standing tall, this is just past the challenge of deprivation, which is the Five of Pentacles. And now that you got a little bit of money, you're wanting to throw it around a little bit. You're giving it out, right? This is a charity card. This is the spirit of charity. This guy used to be the guy that was deprived, and now he has abundance, so he is giving it freely. Equally with justice, he does have the balance in his hands, but he's not selling anything. He is giving it away to these people who are asking him for money. Right? You got it in the reverse. This is be generous. This is go out and give. Right? In the reverse, this can indicate that maybe you can't. This might be a sense of deprivation. Maybe you are spending money in the wrong spots. Right? That can definitely be indicated here. Doesn't have to be money. It could just be your efforts. Right? This could be you working in the wrong way. Pentacles are about the path of provision. Path of provision includes the job that you are currently in. You have the harvest of your current path of provision here, right? This can indicate the same thing. You have a choice to make about a path of provision. This can indicate that you are giving the wrong energy, and that is denying you the nurture that you need to get to your harvest. And so, if we take these two cards in conjunction with everything else that we're looking at on the table, what we see today is that you are not currently nurturing your energy, right? You are not giving the correct energy to reach your final harvest. There is something that you need to change your mindset about, right? This is you investing yourself in the wrong productive efforts. You're going down the wrong path in a path of provision. Currently, right? This is you not giving the energy currently, and this is you giving the correct energy, right? This is a nurturative card. It is in the reverse, and it is about retaining. This could be you are giving money in the wrong spot, right? And money is just an exchange for time, so you are putting your time in the wrong place. You're putting your money in the wrong place. You're investing in the wrong people. That's not really interpersonal relationship thing, right? If that was a cup, okay. But this is you not taking advantage of what is currently changing in your life. You have to get over this sense of nostalgia. You have to change your viewpoint on this feeling. That is going to be the most important thing that you can do. If you can embrace the change and let go of the feeling of nostalgia, start taking advantage of this new path of provision, and kind of get rid of the old one, you're going to be all right. That's going to bring us to the end of the read. Hopefully I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion. If you like what I'm doing over here, let me know down below. Give me a like, a share, a follow. Throw me a comment. Whether you agree or disagree with anything that was said, put it in the box down below. And if it remains respectful, it gets to remain up. If you really like what I'm doing over here, hit me with that super thanks. Consider joining for a membership. Picking up a copy of my book where I teach you to do magic responsibly and live responsibly, or directly consulting me through Connect. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete, just the way that you are. And this has been Pitt State. Peace.